Mrs. Richardson. Thanks for everything. I'll phone the hospital later to see how she is. How are you, James? Feeling any better?
No.
Lynette, are you sure you disinfected all the surfaces this morning?
Yes, Chef.
Well, this is terrible, but I can assure you it was nothing to do with me.
Oh, no?
No, in all my years as a chef,
That steak was off.
it was not. It was delivered fresh this morning.
Look, I'm a chef myself. I know food poisoning when I see it.
It looks like you have a serious problem here at Kilcrammond.
Mrs. Selby-Jones, nothing like this has ever happened in the hotel before. We have the highest reputation, I can assure you.
Really? Well, it looks like your catering reputation has just taken a bit of a knock.
Standby team, we have a case. Thank you. Welcome to the Academy of Criminal Investigation. A serious incident has taken place in the hotel upstairs and we are here to find the culprit. Also, we're looking for 3 more recruits for the ranks. Introduce yourself.
I'm Nathan, I'm 12 years old and I'm very stealthy.
I'm Thomas, I'm 13 years old and I love interrogating my parents.
Hi, I'm Ellis, I'm 11 years old and I'm the brains of the group.
It's nice to meet you. I'll tell you what I know. There appears to have been a serious case of food poisoning at lunch in the hotel. An old lady has been taken to hospital. 2 diners have been sick. They've all eaten steak. One of the diners was James Ashley. He lives locally. He's a chef. He even applied as the head chef at Kilcrammond House Hotel. However, he was beaten to the job by Otto Barker. He's new to the hotel. He's had 10 years' experience as a chef. James Ashley has accused him of negligence. Otto says he has nothing to do with it, but we still have to consider him as a suspect. As we do, Lynette Mackay. She's only been working at the hotel for 2 weeks. Her main job is to clean the kitchen and to chop the vegetables. Is her carelessness the cause of the food poisoning? Also eating at the hotel is Paula Selby-Jones. Now, she owns a chain of prestigious hotels and has been trying to add Kilcrammond House to her portfolio unsuccessfully. Now, the question is, was the food poisoning outbreak caused by accident, negligence, or design? Let's hear from the suspects.
I've been looking at buying Kilcrammond Hotel for a while, but the owners aren't too keen to sell. I checked in here yesterday in the hope of persuading them otherwise. This food poisoning is a scandal. And news like this travels fast in the hotel industry.
The meat delivery came at about 9:45. I checked everything and put it in the fridge. I left Lynette cleaning the kitchen floor and I went to the staff room to prepare the day's menus. That took about half an hour. Then I went to reception to print them off. I returned to the kitchen at about 10:30. Lynette was still outside on her break, but she came back in soon after. There were 8 pieces of steak in the fridge, and orders came through for 3. I cooked them myself, and they were parfait. Perhaps Lynette was not as thorough as usual. Or maybe somebody deliberately tampered with the steaks before or after they were delivered. The chef's trade is very competitive, you know. Somebody could be trying to ruin me.
I'm a chef, so I thought I'd come to the hotel and try and see Paula Selby-Jones. Find out if she had a job at any of her hotels, maybe somewhere abroad. Asked the manager where I could find Paula. He said that she was having coffee in the conservatory. Got chatting to her, dropped into the conversation I was a chef. She invited me to have lunch with her. I was really pleased. Well, I even texted my girlfriend to tell her. Look, it's no secret that I applied for the job here. Now, it was a close thing between me and Otto Barker, but well, he got the job.
I came in at 9:30 as usual and started clearing up after the breakfast service. I signed for the meat order at 9:45 and took it to Chef Otto for checking. Then he put it in the fridge. At about 10, he went into the office to work on the menus, but I kept cleaning until 20 past, then stopped for my coffee break. When I went back in, Otto was there, and from then on, neither of us left the kitchen. Look, I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but Otto's from France, where it's the fashion to eat steak practically raw. It's my guess the steaks just weren't cooked enough, and that's what made the people sick.
So that's what the suspects have to say about themselves. But most importantly, we want to know who caused the food poisoning outbreak. Any ideas?
I have a good idea that it's Lynette.
Lynette, the kitchen girl. Why?
Because if she cleans up and she's using stuff like disinfectant, she might get stuff on her hands. She could have got that on the top of the steak.
That's a jolly good idea. Thomas?
I think it was Paula.
Why?
Because she could get James Ashley to poison the steaks because he's a good cook and he knows that what makes a steak poisonous. And then if the credit goes down for the hotel, she could make a really cheap offer and get the hotel.
Oh, I like the idea. Ellis?
I think it's Paula also because she might also want to buy it. But if the owners of the hotel don't want to buy it, then she might think of this hotel as competition for hers.
The investigators think that kitchen assistant Lynette Mackay may have caused the food poisoning outbreak accidentally through carelessness. They've also identified a motive for Paula Selby-Jones, who's been trying to buy the hotel. A sudden food poisoning scandal might prompt the owners to sell the hotel to Paula at a knockdown price. So you've spotted motives for 3 of our suspects. Well, use the suspect timeline to plot where the suspects were and when. And this is your incident board. Write down any interesting pieces of information that may help you solve the crime. I suggest use your time wisely and start writing down what you know now.
Well, James wanted the job at the hotel.
I saw.
You write that. And Paula wanted the hotel.
Also,
He wants a job with her now, though. James.
Impressive early observations from the team, although there is a long way to go in the investigation.
Here's the CCTV footage in Grant.
Thank you very much. Team, we've got the next piece of the jigsaw puzzle. Look at this. This is CCTV footage, important evidence. We can use this to see whether or not our suspects were telling the truth about their movements around the hotel today. We have to be quick, though, because we can't detain the suspects for long, so write down anything that you see is suspicious. I've got to go back up to the hotel to bring down some more evidence.
So at 9:46 a.m, at the back door, Lynette came. Now, Lynette came and signed for it. She took the steaks.
She takes the steaks.
All right. At 10:18, Lynette came out for a coffee. At 10:21, at the front desk, Paula came and looked around to see if anything were there. Okay. At 10:25 at the front desk, Otto came and was doing something. At 10:26, Paula crept upstairs. At 10:30, Otto left with menus. At 10:32, Paula got something out of her apron. Looks like a mobile phone. She went back inside.
what time was that?
10:32.
The menus. But he arrived. He said it's 1 second to get the menus. He arrived.
If you could set these up in the forensics lab, please. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Team, has your analysis of the CCTV footage turned up any new leads?
Well, yeah, actually.
Well, Lynette was making secret text messages.
When Otto was making the menus, Paula crept up the stairs. Looked like she didn't want to be seen.
So she entered through the entrance hall and went upstairs. Then she came down later on.
We need to find out where she went. So, at this stage now, have a little think. Who do you think has the strongest motive?
I think the person who's got the strongest motive is Paula, because she's like the one who's here on a business, and she's the one who's already got the 2 hotels.
With James, if he arrives and then he's been sick, why would he poison his own food? Because he said he didn't feel that well. So really, he wouldn't really sabotage himself. So
You might have to put you off the trail.
If the team check their timeline, they'll see that the kitchen was empty when Paula was filmed sneaking around the ground floor. Otto was in reception and Lynette was outside on her break, so Paula could have tampered with the steaks.
Now follow me, I've got some important information for you to analyse upstairs. When a culprit commits a crime, they unknowingly leave behind trace evidence, small pieces of information that may help us find them, such as fingerprints and footprints, hairs, fibres, and this is our lab where we discover it. The cleaning agent in the kitchen that was used contains brightening agents, compounds which are very reflective to ultraviolet light. Anyone who was in the kitchen soon after the floor was cleaned by Lynette this morning is likely to have traces of the cleaner on their shoes. I've taken fingerprints from the fridge. You need to analyse them. I swabbed the kitchen surfaces for bacteria, which will be analysed by the scientist. The swabs will give an indication of whether there was dangerous bacteria present during the lunch service. I've also brought down the remaining uncooked steaks. You'll be pleased to know I'll get the scientist to look at those.
Right, we're going to have a look at Paula's shoe first.
OK, I'll take some notes.
Right, lights down. As you can see, she's definitely been in the kitchen.
She has.
Because, go on. Right, now on that Otto's shoe. It's going to be a bit harder. Otto's definitely been in there.
Yeah, but it'd have to be in there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do James's shoe now.
Right.
There's none there.
So he definitely hasn't been in.
Yeah. OK, I'm going to have a look at Lynette's shoes now. Yeah, there's loads there.
Lights off. I'm just going to check these fingerprints off the fridge with the 4 suspects, OK?
OK, I'll take some notes.
Right, OK. I'm just marking off some of the markings on here. Okay, I'm just starting off on Otto's right index finger. And if I look here, I can see that this part over here is the same, and that there's the same, and it's got the same marking there and around here. So I think we've got a match. Okay, now I'm going to try the next fingerprints with Paula's. Okay, let's have a look. It's quite difficult actually. I found a loop on here, and there's a starting of a scar which matches the loop on here and there. And there's... Okay, right, guys, I think we've got a match for Paula's fingers that have been on the fridge, okay?
But why would she go near the fridge?
Don't know.
Team, gather round. You've been busy with your forensics. What did you uncover?
On the fridge door, we found fingerprints that Paula and Otto had both been inside the fridge.
Otto kind of makes sense. He's the chef. Paula Selby Jones, however, what is she doing in the kitchen?
I know, it's strange because we found she had more of that like liquid shown on the shoes.
Paula had more splashes of cleaner on her shoes.
On her shoes.
What is she doing in the kitchen, and more importantly, in the fridge?
We saw her sneak down and past Otto into the rooms. So now we know that she went into the kitchen, and then she came back out. So we know how long she's probably been in the kitchen.
Okay, so you have lots of questions to ask all of our suspects. You're lucky enough to be able to interrogate 3. I'm going to ask, who would you like to interrogate first?
I'm thinking of Paula because she's our main suspect.
She's your prime suspect at the moment?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's bring her down.
Wow. Take a seat, please.
Oh, is it just me or are investigators getting younger these days?
So, why were you in the kitchen?
I was in the kitchen just to check the place out, you know. I wanted to see the standard of it, to see what the equipment was like, because if I'm taking the place over, I want to know what kind of, you know, state of repair it's in, whether it needs replaced or, you know, whatever.
So is that why you checked the standard of the fridge?
Well, I checked the fridge, I checked the oven, I checked the microwave oven.
Is that all you did to the fridge?
Well, what do you think I did to the fridge? It's still there, isn't it?
Well, maybe this is just a little scam to get some more money for you.
What are you implying, kid?
I'm implying that you're a cheat.
I'm a cheat in what way?
You could quite easily take the stakes, bad press, easy money.
I like you, kid. You're smart. But you know what? You're barking up the wrong tree. That ain't my style.
So who do you think did it?
I don't know. This is Europe, baby. You know what? The standard of cleanliness around here is not what it's like in the States. You know?
Why did you invite James to lunch?
Well, James came over and spoke to me, and after a few minutes I realized that he was a chef and he was looking for a job, which I kind of like, because I like, you know, smart people, like yourself, baby. And I thought, I'll take him to lunch, give him a try. But you know what? He really irritated me because he made a text message while we were having lunch, which I thought was rather rude, and I don't like rudeness.
Thanks for answering the questions.
Thank
you. May
you.
be excused.
Sam, this place is great. There could be a spa, and it's very clean, unlike your kitchen.
I like it the way it is. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, team, looks like the analysis of the steaks and the kitchen services have come through from the crime lab. Listen up. The uncooked steaks were all found to be contaminated with a mild chemical. Analysis has also revealed tiny puncture marks in the surface of the uncooked steaks. The puncture mark suggests that a thin object was inserted into the steak, so it does point to something on the steaks. Do you agree?
Yes.
How's about looking at your timeline and also referring to your incident board?
Right. So, okay, she said that she was looking around the kitchen because she wanted to buy the hotel.
I think Lynette's our prime suspect now, like. The fact is we need to know how long she was actually in the kitchen.
She went in, down over at the timeline. So she crept downstairs at 10:25 past Otto. And then when does
Now that she comes out.
Otto goes into the kitchen, so she only had 5 minutes.
So she had 5 minutes looking in the kitchen.
Yeah, but that's still plenty of time.
A serious case of food poisoning has occurred during lunch at the hotel. It was thought that the outbreak may have been caused by carelessness on the part of head chef Otto Barker or kitchen assistant Lynette Mackay, but forensic analysis has now revealed that pieces of steak were deliberately poisoned using a mild chemical. One of the food poisoning victims was James Ashley, who was beaten to the job of head chef by Otto. Under UV light, the team has found traces of the product used to clean the kitchen floor on the shoes of Lynette, Otto and, interestingly, Paula Selby-Jones, a hotel magnate who's been trying to buy the hotel. They also identified Paula's fingerprints on the fridge. The team have spotted that Lynette had the opportunity to commit the crime as she was alone in the kitchen for at least 5 minutes.
So, good clear thinking from the team. They're not ruling anyone out at this stage, but they need to narrow down their suspects soon. Time is not on their side.
I would not hesitate to recommend him to an excellent chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, the job references for
Lynette. One's actually signed by James Ashley, the one of our suspects, so they might know each other.
Okay. It's now time to choose your second suspect.
See, this was...
No, actually, Nathan, what about Lynette? Because
Yeah.
she's the one who was outside with her mobile doing something.
Yeah, she was phoning or texting someone with her mobile, so I think we should give Lynette a go.
So you're going for Lynette?
Yes.
Let's bring her down.
Sit down, please.
Now, we know from our investigation that you know James Ashley. And we'd like to know, how did you know James Ashley?
Well, I used to work for James. I worked for him at a place called Kilcramond Kitchen, and I was there for about a year.
Okay. And what was your relationship with James?
Well, he was my boss.
Just your boss only?
Yes.
Okay. And what were you doing outside?
Outside the kitchen?
Yes.
Well, I was taking my coffee break. I usually go outside when the weather's fine, and I took my coffee outside and sat on the step.
So what were you using your phone for before you went in? Because we saw that you were using something.
I got a message. I got a message from my boyfriend, and I just sent a quick reply before I went back into work.
What did you do with the steaks after you delivered them?
When the meat order comes, I sign for it, and then I take it to the chef. I take it to Otto. He checked it over, and then he put it in the fridge.
Okay, so did you actually poison the steaks or not?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm very thorough with the cleaning. I wouldn't... no, I'm sure.
Thanks, no more questions.
Do I have to stay here? Am I in trouble? I'm in trouble, Simon.
No, not at the moment, Lynette.
That's the evidence you asked for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The phones flip up. Looks like a new Siemens.
The team have asked to see James and Lynette's mobile phones as they suspect they were texting one another earlier.
10:32,
I'm
what does it
at
say?
the hotel, thought I'd try to butter up Paula for a job. Don't flirt with her too much. Me to stay for lunch. This is what she sent to James. I recommend the lamb or the fish.
She said, I'd recommend the lamb or fish because she doesn't want him to get hurt. He
Yeah.
picked the steak, but she said,
in black pepper sauce.
yeah, she said, oh, have the lamb or
roasted lamb
the
with-
salmon because she didn't want to get him to get hurt.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Team, back to the table. Do you remember that the scientists reported that the steaks had a number of puncture marks in them? Well, a number of metal meat skewers found in the kitchen have been tested, and one of the skewers showed minute traces of the same chemical found in the poisoned steaks. There are no fingerprints on the contaminated skewer, though. Any thoughts?
Who has access to the skewers?
Lynette
Exactly.
or the chef?
Lynette or the chef?
Right, now's the time to interrogate one more suspect. You've got two to choose from.
I think it should be
I'm
Otto.
going for Otto.
Otto.
So Otto it is. Let's bring him down.
Take a seat, please.
Enfin. Someone who can tell me what is happening here.
Did you see anyone go into the kitchen?
No, I don't allow anyone in the kitchen, only the people who are working there.
Is Lynette good at her job?
Lynette is, she has a very good reference. But today, I didn't see her clean every surface. I left her alone in the kitchen for peut-être 20-25 minutes.
Where were you in the 25 minutes you were gone?
Oh, I went to prepare the menus for the day. I always go to the staff room beside the kitchen to write them, and then I went to reception to print them.
Did you poison the steaks?
Incredible. Why would I poison my own steaks? This is my reputation, this is my job here.
Well, some people do crazy things.
This does not mean that it is me who is going to do something as stupid as this.
Is it only you who has the access to the skewers?
It is only the people in the kitchen who work in the kitchen.
Thank you, that's all the questions.
Thank you. Silencieux réticuleux, tu peux pas croire que c'est moi qui a fait cela.
Assieds-toi! Ferme la bouche. Team, we've got to gather all the evidence, because in just a moment, I'm going to be asking who you think is the real criminal.
Right.
Right. I think
You know, prime suspect.
Yeah.
Prime suspect is her. She was always hesitating.
Yeah.
She warned the person. She must know about it.
She knew about it, she texted her.
I think she might be the one we're actually looking for.
James Ashley couldn't have done it because he doesn't have access to all the food. He does have access to it. We found his prints on the thing.
Yeah, but obviously he will have prints on the thing because he'll be making the food.
Yeah.
I think, is like,
Dodgy.
is like, I like what is happening, but
Yeah.
but hasn't done it.
Yeah. Who thinks it's Lynette?
I do.
I want to go for her because
I'll go for it.
I do. I'll go for this one and Nathan.
It's time to bring down the final suspect.
I hope you've got a bucket handy, because I still feel rotten.
We've got everything down here, don't worry. Now, team, you've seen all the evidence, you've interrogated 3 of the 4 suspects. I need to know, who is your prime suspect?
Lynette.
Lynette. Why?
because she texted James and said eat the fish or the lamb.
You think it's a warning?
Yes, because she likes
But
James because she used to work for him. I think also because she had access to everything.
Interesting theory. Let's see if you're right. It was Lynette Mackay.
And she did it because she's James Ashley's girlfriend. When James was turned down for the chef's position, he set his sights on getting a new job in London. Lynette was horrified. She thought if she could get Otto Barker sacked, then James would be given Otto's job and stay in Kilcrammon with her. When Otto said he was going to work on the menus, Lynette seized her chance. With Otto out the way, she got the meat from the fridge, took a skewer, dipped it into the toxic chemical that she brought to work and used it to contaminate the steaks. Frankly, Lynette was very lucky that the old lady and James just got sick. Messing around with chemicals you don't understand is stupid at the best of times. To put them in food can be fatal. Lynette is lucky she isn't facing a very long jail sentence for manslaughter.
You're all free to go. Thank you very much for your time and cooperation. Lynette, you stay right there. So, congratulations, team. Well done. Another 3 more agents for the Academy. Do you know what gave it away for me? It was the kisses in the text message. Who did you suspect?